Welcome to the Den of Tools.
Howdy ho, guys and gals, it's Red, your friendly neighborhood tool bear, back again here in the old Den of Tools, and coming to you with a not-so-friendly bear story. Yeah, the bear had some issues over the past couple weeks, and I wanted to tell you about them. Well, not so much wanted to, felt I had to, felt I needed to, that the community out there needed to know. I know mostly we talk about tools, and I often think of these items as tool-related things. YouTube doesn't like us talking about it, so we're going to be real careful with kind of words and verbiage that we use here. I ask you to do the same in the comments section. So here's what happened. We all know what's going on in the world, and as you see, I got my three cubs back there that I worry about as well. And I'd made the decision to change the brands and styles of let's call them. We often refer to them as broomsticks. These would be more the short-handled broomsticks, the dust brooms, if you will, the dust vacs. Let's call them dust vacs. And I'd sold all the ones I had except for one. I think I still had, and I was converting over to a more DIY version. If you know I'm talking about, it's a polymer kit that you can get, but then you have to buy the top end for it unless you're really into that whole CNC milling thing, and I'm not as into that as I would like to be. So I went on the old eBays, and actually I did quite a bit of research and ended up on the old eBays and decided to buy from this company here. Now, they're called, I believe the pronunciation is Wuelf. It's a German-based company, or they get their products from Germany, bring them here, sell them here. I don't know whether they do the actual machining here or in Germany or what, but they're kind of well known on a lot of the message boards and such as being a value-priced tool accessory maker. And a lot of what I saw was they're not bad. They're getting better, but the customer service is pretty lacking. Well, my hope was I wouldn't need customer service because I think I can do a lot of this stuff myself. Yeah, famous last words, right? So I placed my order on Saturday. I think it was March 21st. And come that following Monday, I look and I've got a notification in the old eBays that the order has been confirmed. We've got a tracking number assigned. It's in pre-shipment and it's waiting for USPS pickup. Sweet. Well, we're all set. Now, what you may not know, though, is because of everything that's going on in the world, stuff like this is becoming harder and harder to get your paws on. And I had looked high and low to find a full-size G17 version of this, complete with everything I needed, ready to go, which was the reason I went with this one. Honestly, the fit and or the color and finish on this is a little too stylized for, I'm more of a downplayed kind of bear. I don't like the bright and shiny kind of stuff or the, overly, done up kind of thing. Who knows? Maybe I'll learn to like that sort of thing, but usually I'm a fairly basic kind of, I like the basic black, basic browns kind of thing. Anyway, that said, the order's placed because it was the only one they had. It was the top of the line model with an RMR cut. That's a specific type of machining that allows you to put an optical device on it, which for me was quite important. So now going forward, later in the week, I hadn't heard anything. I thought I'd double check because I was concerned because a lot of this stuff was getting delayed. And I was planning to do a video on this for my other channel. We're going to kind of do the Den of Gadgets there. We're going to kind of make it a catch-all. We're going to do all sorts of stuff over there. So I was going to do a review of this as well as the polymer piece that goes with it and kind of talk about that over there. The video is kind of on hold now, as you can probably guess. That said, midweek I take a look on it. I think it was Wednesday, and it says it's still in, when I run the tracking number, it says it's still in pre-shipment, waiting USPS pickup. And I'm like, that seems weird. So I shoot them an email, said, hey, what's the deal on this? They respond back with, you can see right there, it says your previous message, and say, hey, this was in pre-shipment. What's going on? They said, yes, it has shipped. I'm getting quite a bit of feedback on this type of thing. Although items are being delivered, I'm wondering if something isn't wrong with the post office's tracking system. Yeah, blame the post office. That gave me all sorts of warm, fuzzy feelings. So I'm like, okay, well, they said they checked. They said it did go out. So who knows? There is a lot of stuff going on right now. Who knows, right? Maybe it's true. Friday, it had guaranteed delivery by Friday. Friday comes and goes. I didn't actually take a look at this until the following Monday. But over the weekend, they sent me an email that says, we attempted to contact you direct to your email. Funny, because I didn't get any emails. We're sorry, but we ran out of this configuration. Now, they have kind of a typo in here. Basically, I think what they're saying is, we don't have any of the 17s. We have the 17s without the RMR cut. So I was looking for a 17 with the RMR. So they have the model that's a step down from this in the same finish. Please let me know if this would be okay if you want another. Now, that would seem like, okay, they're reaching out to you to see if there's something else. I have two problems with this. A, they said it was packaged and ready for shipment on Monday. Wednesday, when I contacted them, they said they double checked, and yes, it had gone out. And now they're coming back and saying it's out of stock. That kind of ruffles the old bear's fur. And on top of it, the without RMR is a significantly reduced priced item. That's like saying, we know you paid for a V8, but, and I know we said that we shipped it to you twice, but we really didn't. But tell you what, we've got 2 V6s in stock. That's it. That's all we got left. So you can have one of those instead. So just let me know. And at no point am I going to even mention the fact that the V6 costs a whole bunch less, and I'm not going to offer to refund the difference. So I decided at this point that I'm going to poke him a bit and see how he responds, because somebody who's being honest and just managed to leave something out is going to react with usually a kind of a level of embarrassment of like, oh yeah, we're totally going to refund you the difference. I need to make this right, all this other stuff. And at no point we had several conversations after this, and they all got worse and worse and worse. And I'll be honest, I lost my cool a bit on it, and he certainly did as well. But at no point did he at any point say, yeah, and we'd refund you the difference. He said, I'd refund you the total. And I'm starting to think about what's going on here. And I think what I figured out was this. So the ones without the RMR cut there, if you notice, they're the same price as the item with the RMR cut that I paid for. They'd raised their prices on everything as soon as they realized how much action there was in the market. I had gone over and checked their actual website to find, sure enough, they have the exact same item, but in a slightly different finish. It's in black rather than battle worn, but it has the RMR cut. Now, notice he only offered me a cheaper item before with the RMR, without the RMR cut. He never said, oh, I have the same item in a slightly different finish. And for those of you who don't know, battle worn is just black where they've taken like some steel wool to it and given it a like pre-used kind of look to it. It's a look, honestly, I find kind of silly. I mean, it's cool if you've put the work in and you've used it so much that it looks like that. I get that, but to buy it, it's like buying jeans with holes in the knees already. I don't do that sort of thing. But anyway, this is actually the item I would have preferred, but at no point did he offer me this item. And when I confronted him about that, he started insulting me because I couldn't tell that it was black and not battle worn. I pointed out that, but it has all the same specs. It's in the same price range. You didn't even offer me a difference on the other item, and all you did was offer me, and you hid the fact that this item was available. And I said, at this point I'd lost my cool. He had at one point offered to send me a new upgraded item that they're coming out with the RMR cut in 2 weeks or so. But I mean, at this point, I'm not trusting anything he says, and I'm just done with him. And I've already reported him to eBay at this point. At this point, he says he's done talking to me or done wasting time with you is what I think what he said. He's going to issue me a refund and stops responding. At this point, though, I keep checking. eBay doesn't issue a refund, or he doesn't issue a refund, and I wait. I finally give up and actually have to file a fraud complaint with eBay. Get that? I've actually filed a fraud complaint with the Florida AG, which is where they're registered. Now, let's talk about that for a second. Now, anybody who wants to say, hey, you're doxing him or something, this is not doxing. This is a corporation, an LLC. That's a public entity. I'm a public entity. If you want to look up Redbeard Studios, you can find our address that we have listed there. In fact, if you look down below in the video description, our email and business address are in every single video down in the description. So this is stuff you can look up online. It's not an individual. I'm not giving out personal information. So Wuelf LLC is set up as a corporation in the state of Florida, in Tampa, actually. But their actual registered address is in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And so I did a little look on Google Maps. It's a building that looks like this. Doesn't look like an industrial building to me. Looks like it's maybe corporate offices or something. I don't know. Actually, the reason I'm including this is I'm wondering if any of you, I know we do have some fans in the New Mexico area. Are you familiar with this area? Is it commercial? Is it light industrial? Would there be CNC shops running in the back of a business like this? I just want to know. I'm trying to figure out where the stuff is made, if it's made overseas and shipped here, or if it's actually made in the U.S. and just the blanks are made from Germany. Not really sure. Now, Wuelf itself, this is where things get really kind of weird. I was terse with him, and I told him, hey, I will be, filing complaint and fraud charges with eBay, because it was, the line gets under your skin. But when things get really hectic, I can see how stuff like that can get, one time I can get it. Twice, oh, that's really stretching. I mean, especially when somebody asks you point blank, did it ship? And you're like, oh yeah, I totally checked. It totally shipped. And then you come back later and you're like, nah, not only did it not ship, but we don't even have it. It makes it feel like, yeah, maybe you didn't check. Maybe you're lying. And then when you start offering a bait and switch, like here, I'll give you this, another item that's much cheaper, but at no point will I even mention refunding you the difference. It feels a lot like bait and switch. It feels a lot like, hey, I just realized I could sell these for a lot more money. So I just basically, canceled your order. And, the promise to then get me a new one down the road is probably going to be like, oh, it keeps slipping and slipping until there's no longer any high demand volume and it's the regular price again. So he's going to sell the stuff that he can sell now. And I totally get it. If it's your business, that's fine. If you want to raise the price, I'm not sitting here trying to tell you can't. But when you have a contractual obligation on an outstanding order that's already paid for, going back on that at that point is fraud. And so I took a look at their listing. They got 7 negative and 6 neutral responses in the past year. Taking a look at those. So one of those, of course, is mine. And the other 6 are nicely clean slide, but the barrels don't allow it to function. Worth seller, I got wrong order. Promise to exchange never happened. Do not buy G16 slide. Rear slide's too big. Machined poor and badly. Company seems small. Can't keep up production. 3 weeks to receive. Poor tolerance, barely for loose fitting, not very accurate, and didn't come with screws. Seller said, sent them twice. Yeah, it gets interesting. In fact, I looked online and I found actually quite a few comments of buyer beware. Basically, if the stuff works, it works, but if you have to contact them, they're always argumentative about everything. And I guess I should have done a bit more research, huh? Well, it's one of the reasons I went through eBay, because I know if I go through eBay, I know that I can always go back to eBay to protect my investments rather than buying something directly from some website that I don't know who the seller really is. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. So you saw the listings I showed earlier where it showed that they had a lot of the cheaper slides at the newer price, right? So those were all the ones with the non-RMR at the more expensive price. So I come here and I click on items that they have listed. There's nothing listed. Now, I thought it was weird when I was looking at all the responses on mine and everything else. They were now all listed as private sales. I'm not sure what's going on. Well, I tried going to their website and it didn't go well. Here it is right here. I click on home and nothing. There is nothing showing up on this page. I've tried it all day long. Also, before this, I had one of those security issues come up saying that it doesn't have a active, certificate or anything. It's an unsafe site. So I wouldn't go to it myself if I were you. They're no longer showing up on eBay. Their website has disappeared. I'm not sure exactly what is going on with them. Yeah. I don't like being one of those YouTubers who throws rant videos up every couple months because I didn't get what I wanted from an order or something like this. But at some point, like with CPO, I know a lot of people, a lot of you are fans of them. And I felt like, hey, we needed to send up a flare and let them know what's going on. And in that case, we've seen a corporation actively respond, and hopefully for the better. We're going to keep an eye on them over the next year and see how they do, hopefully evolve into a better company. Wuelf here, with what's going on in the world, right now, a lot of people are buying up tools of this sort faster than you can, spin a weasel. But I got to say that when every step of the way, this company has lied to me, tried to cheat me. At least it feels that way to me. Let me know down below. Am I going too grisly on this? Am I going overboard? Because it did feel to me like they lied about the shipping. They lied about when they checked on the shipping. They came back later without me even contacting them, came back later and say, oh, sorry. Yeah, we're out of this item. Of course, it was a day after you were supposed to get it, but we're going to offer you a replacement item that's worth about $100 less, but you better order quick because there's only 2 of them left if you want to get one. And then when I finally, pushed back on it, they're like, oh yeah, well, we'll give you this other better item that you've never seen that we can't give you any real information about, and it will get to you eventually. At the same time, they tell me that they can only cut 6,000 slides a month, and that's why it's delayed. Well, that's quite a bit for a small business to be going through, so you can't slide one new one in there to replace the one that you've already sold and is already paid for. I don't know. Maybe the bear's overreacting, but I feel that, based on my interactions with them, the interactions I found from other people, it definitely seems like one of these companies that just basically throws stuff out there. Hopefully most of it works, and if it doesn't, they don't really care. Let me know what you think down below. Do you think that the bear's right on this? Do you think the bear's overreacting? I haven't had much to eat this week, and been locked up in the cave with the cubs and going a little stir crazy. So maybe that's the case. But maybe this is my sanity check, or maybe you think I'm right. Let me know down in the comments. Let me know if you think that we should be calling out companies like this, or do you think we should just be writing Yelp reviews or something? I don't know. Anyway, that's all we got for you here this Friday. And honestly, that's why I save these kind of things for Friday videos, because Friday is usually one of the really down days. So, I don't try to pump this out first thing on Monday, make a big deal out of something. Just wanted to let you guys know, hopefully save you some cash. And, this is something that's, it's important for you, the safety of yourself and your family. So that's why the bear's talking about it. Anyway, you all take care. Stay safe. God bless. And as always, shine on.